Severe weather is approaching. Meteorologist Jackson Chastain has tips to protect you from upcoming threats in this week's WeatherWise.
Meteorologist Jackson Chastain here with the latest edition of WeatherWise. Severe Weather Week is coming up next week, and with severe weather season approaching, the beginning of meteorological spring being March 1st, we're getting closer and closer to that time of year when some of the most dangerous kinds of weather make their way on into the area. And with that, I'm going to kind of go over some key concepts, things you might want to know about kind of severe weather in general, and tips that can be useful to keep you safe. Now, before we can get any severe weather at all, there's 4 key ingredients you're going to need, those being lift, instability, moisture, and wind energy. When you get all those, you get a severe storm. And with those severe storms, they can come in all sorts of shapes and sizes, but generally, this is kind of the criteria we're looking at for what you're going to get with a severe storm. That being a minimum of 1 inch of hail, minimum 58 mile per hour plus winds. And if you have a tornado, it's a pretty good chance you're looking at a severe storm. And obviously, tornadoes are a very serious threat during this time of year, especially early in the spring. That's kind of Mississippi's peak time for severe weather. So kind of going over the difference between a watch and a warning. You're looking at a watch, you're looking at the fact that we have the ingredients there for tornadoes, but not necessarily a tornado yet. So the cake has not been baked, so to speak. Once you get that warning, that cake has been baked, that tornado has formed from the ingredients you've been provided, and that means a tornado is formed or is on the ground. So there's key difference there. And with that, you want to make sure you know where you're living. If you can know where you're living, you can pass on key information, receive key information, act on that information, and keep you, your loved ones safe. So make sure you know what county you're living. This is a view of all of our counties in our DMA. Make sure you know where you live, and when you receive those severe weather reports, you'll be best prepared to know where and when things are happening. Now, with regards to tornadoes, if a tornado is making its way towards you, your best case scenario is to go to a tornado shelter, safe room, basement. Those are kind of your best options right there. There's some second best and third best options, but those are your best ones. Where you don't want to be is in a car, mobile home, or under a highway overpass. You'll actually get sucked out from under an overpass, and cars and mobile homes, those will just get blown away by tornadoes, which can move those relatively easily. So do not be there. Make sure you are in a centralized, preferably underground location or shelter if possible. Several pieces of kit you can actually bring in case of severe weather: batteries, flashlights, medications, first aid kit, phone charger, tools. All these things are things that you're going to want to keep with you in the case that possibly you get stranded, in the case that there's some severe damage to infrastructure or places around you. Just to have these belongings will just keep you going, especially after a severe weather event. But above all else, if you want to stay safe, just make sure you got a plan, make sure you're staying up to date with the weather, and obviously make sure you have a safe spot to go to. You do all those 3 things, you'll be pretty set to stay safe pretty much most of the time during severe weather events. And we do have a tornado drill statewide at 9:15 a.m. on Wednesday, February 16th in Mississippi. You're probably going to hear sirens go off. The weather radio may chirp or light up. It's just a test, but we highly recommend you participate in it. It's a great way to practice your training for dealing with severe weather. And obviously, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us on our social media handles or over email. But otherwise, this has been your latest edition of WeatherWise, and you have a great night.
WeatherWise is brought to you by Fort County Electric Power Association.